They said the bond would fade after I died. They lied. I can still feel them. 3 heartbeats thundering in my chest like they own the space where mine used to be. Even now, standing in the rain outside the palace I once called home, I taste ash and roses on my tongue. Their scent, their mark, their betrayal. I died 2 months ago, and somehow I'm still here, watching them grieve the Omega they destroyed. My name is Cassian Vale, and I shouldn't exist right now. Not after what they did. Not after the way they looked at me that last night. 3 identical faces carved from stone and cruelty. Eyes cold enough to freeze the blood in my veins. The Ashford triplets. Alpha kings of the Pacific Rim territory. Dante, Matthias, Elijah. Once upon a time, I thought those names meant safety, love, forever. Now they just sound like the countdown to my death. I pull my hood lower, rain sliding down the bridge of my nose as I stand across the street from the palace gates. It's past midnight, but every window blazes with light. They're awake. Of course they are. I heard the rumors even in death. They haven't slept since my funeral. Good. Let them suffer. My fingers twitch at my sides, and the iron gate across the street groans, bending slightly inward like something just grabbed it from the inside. I force my hand to relax, shoving it deep into my jacket pocket. Telekinesis. That's new. Dying does weird things to an Omega, apparently. When I woke up 2 months after my own burial, gasping for air in a darkness that smelled like earth and rot, I thought I'd gone insane. But then I lifted my hand, and the coffin lid exploded outward without me touching it. I clawed my way to the surface and found the world exactly as I'd left it. Except I was different, stronger, angrier, alive, and I have no idea why. I don't remember everything about that night. My mind keeps it locked behind jagged glass, images that slice me open when I get too close. But I remember her, Saraphina Hale. The Omega, they said, was better suited for kings. Elegant, poised, perfect bloodline. Everything I wasn't. I remember Dante's hand on her waist at the council gala, the way Matthias poured her wine while mine sat untouched, how Elijah smiled at her, really smiled, like she'd unlocked something in him I'd been trying to reach for years. I remember stumbling out onto the balcony, my chest so tight I thought my ribs would crack. Shuddering, and I remember the cold, not the weather, the cold that came from inside me, spreading through my veins like frost. My vision blurred. My legs gave out. I hit the marble floor hard enough to taste copper. The last thing I saw was Matthias standing in the doorway, staring down at me with something that looked like regret. Not love, not panic, just regret. Like I was a mistake he'd finally corrected. I blink, and the memory dissolves. The gate across the street shudders again, and this time I don't stop it. Metal screams as the bars twist slowly inward, bending like soft wax under invisible hands. A guard shouts. Another runs toward the gate, flashlight beam cutting through the rain. I let go. The gate snaps back into place with a deafening clang, and I turn away, heart hammering. Careful, Cass, I mutter to myself, stuffing my hands deeper into my pockets. You're supposed to be dead. Let's not blow the surprise. But God, it felt good. For 2 months I've been hiding, watching, trying to piece together what happened to me and why I'm still breathing when I should be 6 feet under. I've learned 3 things. 1, whatever killed me wasn't natural. My body didn't just give out. Someone made it happen. 2, the Ashford triplets have been losing their minds since my death. The council's in chaos, their territories fracturing, and all 3 of them look like they're one bad day away from snapping. 3, Saraphina Hale, she's still here, still in the palace, still playing the perfect Omega, and I'm going to find out why. I pull out my phone, new, burner, untraceable, and scroll through the photos I've been collecting. Dante, leaving the palace at 3 a.m., eyes hollow and red-rimmed. Matthias, standing in the rain at my grave for 4 hours straight. Elijah screaming at a council member so violently that 2 guards had to drag him away. They're breaking. And part of me, God help me, part of me wants to go to them, to let them see me, to watch their faces when they realize I'm alive. But the other part, the part that remembers the cold, the part that woke up buried and alone, that part wants to watch them burn. I slip the phone back into my pocket and start walking, rain drumming against my hood. 2 months, I whisper. 2 months you left me in the ground. The streetlights flicker as I pass beneath them, bulbs humming and dimming like they can feel the electricity crackling under my skin. Ward, let's see how you handle 2 more. The air around me hums, not audibly, it's deeper than that, like the world just took a breath and held it, waiting for me to do something stupid. I stop walking. My sneakers are soaked through, rain pooling in the cracks of the sidewalk beneath me. The streetlight overhead flickers one more time, then dies completely. Darkness swallows the block, and for a second, I'm back in the coffin. Buried, suffocating. I force my eyes open wider. Breathe, Cass. You're not there anymore. Except my hands are shaking now, and the trash can 3 feet to my left just lifted off the ground. Oh shit! I ball my fists, nails digging into my palms, and the trash can drops with a metallic crash that echoes too loud in the empty street. A dog barks somewhere in the distance. A car alarm wails to life 2 blocks over. I need to get it together. I need to move. But then I smell it. Cedar wood, smoke, something sharp and clean, like winter air over snow. My entire body locks up. No, no, that's not possible. I'm downwind. I'm blocks away from the palace. There's no way I should be able to scent them from here unless one of them is close. My heart kicks into overdrive, pulse slamming against my ribs so hard it hurts. I spin around, scanning the street, but it's empty. Just rain and shadows and the distant glow of the palace lights cutting through the storm. The scent grows stronger. Cedarwood. Dante. I know his scent like I know my own heartbeat. It used to make me feel safe, grounded, like no matter how bad things got, he'd be there to catch me. Now it just makes me want to run or fight. I'm not sure which. Looking for someone. The voice comes from behind me, low and rough, and every nerve in my body screams at me to move. But I'm frozen, completely still, like my brain just shorted out. I turn slowly, and there he is. Dante Ashford, Alpha King. 6'4" of barely controlled dominance wrapped in a soaking wet black coat. His dark hair is plastered to his forehead, rain dripping down the sharp line of his jaw. His eyes, God, those eyes, are the color of a forest mid-storm, green and gold and devastating. And right now, they're locked on me. He takes a step forward. I take a step back. Easy, he says, hands raised slightly like I'm some kind of spooked animal. I'm not going to hurt you. I almost laugh. Not going to hurt me. Too late for that, asshole. But I don't say it. I can't. Because my throat is tight, and my pulse is doing something insane, and the bond I thought died with me is suddenly screaming in my chest. It's not possible. The bond should be gone, broken, severed the moment my heart stopped. But I can feel it. A thread pulled so taut it's vibrating, connecting me to him like a live wire. And judging by the way Dante's staring at me, pupils blown wide, nostrils flaring, he feels it too. Who are you? He asks, voice dropping an octave. I swallow hard. No one. Bullshit. He moves closer, and I feel the pull, the gravity of him, like my body wants to collapse the distance between us, even though my brain is screaming at me to run. You smell like... He cuts himself off, but I know what he was going to say. You smell like him, like Cassian, like me, because I'm still wearing the same scent. Death didn't take that from me, and now I'm standing 3 feet away from the alpha who let me die, and he has no idea who I am. The irony is almost funny. Almost. You need to leave, I say, forcing my voice to stay steady. This isn't your territory. His jaw tightens. Everything in this city is my territory. Then I guess I'm trespassing. I turn to walk away, but his hand snaps out, not touching me, just close enough that I feel the heat of his palm near my elbow. Wait, I freeze. Not because he used his alpha voice. He didn't. It was softer than that. Almost desperate. I glance over my shoulder and the look on his face nearly breaks me. He looks haunted. I know this sounds insane, he says quietly, but I need you to tell me something. What? Have we met before? My breath catches. For a second, just a second, I almost tell him, almost rip the hood off my head and watch his entire world shatter. But then I remember. I remember the cold, the balcony, the way he looked at Saraphina. I remember waking up in a grave. So instead I smile. Sharp. Cruel. No, I lie. We've never met. And then I shove. Not with my hands. With my mind. The telekinetic force slams into his chest like an invisible wall, and Dante stumbles backward, eyes going wide with shock. He catches himself against a lamppost, staring at me like I just grew a second head. What the hell? But I'm already running. Rain lashes my face as I tear down the street, heart pounding, lungs burning. Behind me, I hear him shout my name. No, not my name. He doesn't know my name. He shouts, stop. But I don't. I run until the palace lights disappear behind me. I run until my legs scream. I run until I can't feel the bond anymore. And even then, I don't stop. Because if I stop, I'll go back. And I'm not ready for that yet. My lungs are on fire. I don't stop running until I hit the old industrial district on the east side, where the buildings are half collapsed and the streetlights gave up years ago. My sneakers splash through puddles, and I finally duck into an alley between two abandoned warehouses, pressing my back against the cold brick. My chest heaves. Rain drips off my nose, my chin, soaking through every layer I'm wearing. And my hands won't stop shaking. Not from the cold. From him. Stupid, I gasp, slamming my fist against the wall. Stupid! Stupid! Ich stupid. A loose brick 3 feet above my head cracks and tumbles to the ground, shattering on impact. I squeeze my eyes shut. Control it, Cass. Get a grip. But I can still feel him. Even from here, miles away, the bond hums under my skin like a second pulse. Faint, but there. A thread I thought was severed, now pulled so tight it's cutting into me. I thought dying would break it. I thought coming back wrong would erase it. But no. Apparently, the universe has a sick sense of humor. I slide down the wall until I'm sitting in a puddle, knees pulled to my chest. My phone buzzes in my pocket, but I ignore it. Probably another burner alert, some automated thing. No one actually has this number. No one knows I'm alive, except now he does. Well, sort of. Dante doesn't know it's me. He can't. I made sure of that. Or dyed my hair darker, lost weight I didn't have to lose, started wearing clothes that hide my frame. I'm a ghost of who I used to be. Literally. But he sensed something. The way he looked at me. The way his pupils dilated when he got close. Like his hindbrain was screaming at him, even if his conscious mind didn't understand why. Have we met before? I pressed the heels of my palms against my eyes. Yes, you absolute idiot. You married me. You marked me. You promised me forever. And then you let me die on a balcony while you smiled at someone else. My phone buzzes again. This time I yank it out, ready to chuck it into the next puddle. But then I see the notification. Unknown number. I know you're still in the city. My blood turns to ice. I stare at the screen, rain pattering against the cracked glass protector. Another message appears. Unknown number. And I know what you are. My heart slams into my throat. No. No, that's not possible. I covered my tracks. I've been careful. No one's seen my face. No one's gotten close enough to scent me properly except Dante. Damn it. I'm on my feet before I can think, every instinct screaming at me to move. But another message pops up, and this one freezes me mid-step. Unknown number. Relax, Cassian. I'm not going to tell them. The world tilts. Someone knows. Someone knows I'm alive, and they know my name. And they're not Dante, because Dante looked at me like I was a stranger. So who the hell is this? My fingers hover over the keyboard, shaking. I shouldn't respond. Responding is stupid. Responding is how people get caught. But I'm also apparently terrible at self-preservation because I type, me. Who is this? The reply is instant. Unknown number. Someone who wants to help you. I bark out a laugh that sounds half unhinged. Help me. Me. Yeah, forgive me if I don't trust anonymous stalkers. 3 dots appear. Disappear. Appear again. Unknown number. Fair. But if you want answers about what happened to you, meet me tomorrow, midnight, the old chapel on 5th and Morgan. I know that place. It's been abandoned for a decade. Used to be part of some Pax territory before the Ashfords absorbed everything. Me. Why would I do that? Unknown number. Because you don't actually know how you came back, do you? My stomach drops. Unknown number. And because Saraphina Hale isn't what she seems. The phone almost slips out of my hand. I stare at the screen, rain blurring the letters, my pulse roaring in my ears. Saraphina, the perfect Omega, the one they chose over me, the one who was standing 10 feet away when I collapsed. Me, what do you know about her? No response. I wait, counting my heartbeats, but the 3 dots never come back. Of course, I mutter, shoving the phone into my pocket. Cryptic bullshit. Love that. But my mind is already racing. Someone knows I'm alive. Someone knows about Saraphina, and someone thinks they have answers. Which means either this is a trap, or I'm about to walk into the only lead I've had in 2 months. I tip my head back against the wall, rain washing over my face. Tomorrow, I whisper to no one. Midnight. Guess I'm not getting any sleep. A crack of thunder rolls overhead, and somewhere in the distance, I swear I hear footsteps. I go still, listening. The rain's too loud, drowning out everything else, but my instincts are screaming. The same instincts that kept me alive in the underground fight rings I used to work before the Ashfords found me. The same instincts that told me to run tonight. And right now, they're telling me I'm not alone. I push off the wall, scanning the alley. Nothing. Just shadows and rain and the distant hum of the city. But then I catch it. A scent. Not cedar wood this time. Leather, rain-soaked earth, something darker, sharper. Matthias. My heart kicks into a sprint. Damn it, Dante, did you call for backup? I hiss under my breath. I don't wait to find out. I bolt. This time I don't just run. I leap, grab the bottom rung of a rusted fire escape, and haul myself up. My arms burn. When but adrenaline drowns it out. I climb fast, metal groaning under my weight, until I'm on the roof. The wind hits me full force, nearly knocking me sideways. But I don't stop. I jump. Telekinesis flares without me meaning to, and I soar across the gap between buildings, landing hard on the next roof. My knees buckle, but I roll with it, coming up in a crouch. Below I hear a shout. Matthias. He saw me. I don't look back. I just keep running, roof to roof, the city sprawling out beneath me like a maze. And the bond? It's screaming now. Both of them. Dante and Matthias. I can feel their panic, their confusion, their desperation bleeding through the connection I thought was dead. But I shove it down. Lock it away, because if I let myself feel it, I'll break. And I didn't crawl out of my grave just to fall apart now. I make it 4 more rooftops before my luck runs out. The next building is too far. I can see the gap, wide and black, and swallowing the rain, and I know I can't make it. Not without using more power than I can control right now. But behind me, I hear boots hitting metal. Matthias is on the fire escape, climbing fast. Cass, stop! The sound of my name in his voice splits me open. I stumble, nearly tripping over a vent pipe, and that half-second of hesitation costs me everything. Because suddenly there's a third scent on the wind. Mint. Cold and clean, like frost on glass. Elijah. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I spin around just in time to see him step out of the rooftop access door, like he's been waiting here the whole time. Probably was. Elijah's always been the tactical one. Yeah, the one who thinks 3 moves ahead while Dante and Matthias are still fighting over move 1. He's soaked through, white shirt clinging to his chest, dark hair dripping into his eyes. But his expression is calm, unreadable, which is somehow worse than if he looked angry. Going somewhere? He asks, voice smooth as silk and twice as dangerous. I take a step back. Anywhere you're not. His mouth twitches, almost a smile. That's going to be difficult. Behind me, Matthias pulls himself onto the roof, boots splashing in the pooled water. I don't have to turn around to know he's blocking the other exit. I can feel him, The same way I can feel Elijah. The same way I can feel Dante, somewhere below, pacing like a caged animal. The bond is a noose around my throat. Let me guess, I say, forcing my voice to stay light even though my heart is trying to jackhammer its way out of my ribs. You three just happen to be in the neighborhood? Something like that, Matthias says from behind me. His voice is deeper than Dante's, rougher, like gravel and whiskey. You want to tell us why you shoved my brother with your mind? I don't answer. Elijah takes a step closer, then another. Slow, deliberate. We're not going to hurt you, he says. Yeah, forgive me if I've heard that one before. His eyes narrow, just slightly. Have you? Damn it, I need to be more careful. Every word out of my mouth is a breadcrumb leading them back to the truth. I don't know what you're talking about, I say. Oh, now get out of my way. Can't do that. Why not? Because you smell like someone we lost. The words hit me like a fist to the chest. I freeze. Elijah's gaze is locked on mine now, sharp and searching, and I realize with a sinking feeling that he's testing me, watching for my reaction. I school my face into something bored, annoyed. That's a weird pickup line. It's not a line. Matthias moves closer. I feel the heat of him at my back, and my entire body locks up. Fight or flight. Except I can't do either because they've got me boxed in, and if I use my telekinesis again, they'll know something's really wrong with me. Look, I say, taking a slow breath, I don't know what you think you smelled, but I'm nobody. Just some random omega trying to get home before I drown out here. Then why did you run? Elijah asks. Wick, because you chased me. We chased you because you ran. Circular logic, love that. Matthias huffs a sound that might have been a laugh in another life. He's got a mouth on him. I've noticed, Elijah murmurs, and then he's right in front of me. Close enough that I have to tilt my head back to meet his eyes. Close enough that I can see the flecks of silver in the pale blue, the faint scar above his left eyebrow that he got in a fight when we were 19. Not that I'm supposed to know that. What's your name? He asks softly. My throat tightens. I should lie. Give him something fake, something forgettable. But my brain is shorting out because he's so close, and the bond is pulling so hard I feel like my ribs are going to crack, and I can't think. Adrian, I blurt out. It's the first name that comes to mind. Some guy I knew in college. Decent name. Boring enough to be believable. Elijah's eyes search mine. Adrian, he repeats like he's tasting it, testing it for truth. I nod. He doesn't look convinced. All right, Adrian, Matthias says from behind me, and I feel his hands settle on my shoulder. Not rough, just there. A warning. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to come with us, answer a few questions, and then, if everything checks out, you're free to go. I twist out of his grip, stumbling forward. I'm not going anywhere with you. You don't have a choice. There's always a choice. Not when you're putting yourself in danger, Elijah says. And there's something in his voice now. Something that sounds almost like concern. It makes me want to scream. I can take care of myself. Clearly, Matthias drawls. And that's why you're cornered on a roof in the rain. I glare at him over my shoulder. I'm not cornered. I'm strategizing. Is that what we're calling it? Before I can snap back, Elijah speaks again. Quieter this time. Please. That single word breaks something in me. Because Elijah doesn't say please. He commands. He calculates. He controls. He doesn't beg. I look at him, really look at him, and for the first time tonight, I see past the calm exterior. See the cracks underneath, the exhaustion, the grief. He looks like he hasn't slept in weeks. They all do. And I hate that I notice. Hate that I care. 1 hour, I hear myself say. You get 1 hour, then I'm gone. Elijah's shoulders drop, just slightly. Relief. 1 hour, he agrees. Matthias moves to my side and I tense, but he doesn't grab me. Mish just gestures toward the rooftop access door. After you, I hesitate. This is a bad idea, a terrible idea. But that text message is still burning a hole in my pocket. Saraphina Hale isn't what she seems. If anyone knows the truth about her, it's them. Even if they don't realize they know it yet. I square my shoulders and walk toward the door, Elijah and Matthias flanking me like I'm some kind of flight risk. Which fair? I am. The stairwell is dark and narrow, our footsteps echoing off concrete. I can feel both of them behind me, close enough to catch me if I bolt. Not that I'm going to. Not yet. We reach the ground floor, and Elijah pushes open the exit door. Rain pours in, and I see a black SUV idling at the curb, headlights cutting through the storm. Dante's leaning against the driver's side door, waiting. His eyes lock on mine the second I step outside, and the bond roars. I feel it in my chest, my throat, my teeth. Like every cell in my body is screaming at me to go to him, but I don't. I just stare back. "Get in," Dante says. His voice is raw, wrecked. I swallow hard. "Where are we going?" "Somewhere we can talk." That's not an answer. It's the only one you're getting. Matthias opens the back door, and Elijah gestures for me to slide in. I take a breath and climb inside. The door shuts behind me with a sound like a prison cell locking. The interior of the SUV smells like them, all three of them. Cedar wood and leather and mint, wrapped around me so tightly I can barely breathe. The seat is leather, still warm from someone sitting here earlier. The space feels impossibly small, even though this thing could probably fit 6 people comfortably. Matthias slides in beside me. Elijah takes the other side. I'm sandwiched between them, and the bond is losing its mind. Dante climbs into the driver's seat, and the engine purrs to life. He doesn't look at me in the rearview mirror, doesn't say a word, just pulls away from the curb and drives. I focus on my breathing. In, out, in, out. Don't think about how close they are. Don't think about how their scents are wrapping around you like a blanket. Don't think about how your body is screaming at you to lean into Matthias's shoulder or reach for Elijah's hand. Don't. Think. "So," I say because silence is worse, "is this the part where you threaten me, or do we skip straight to the interrogation?" Matthias snorts. You got a lot of nerve for someone who just got caught running across rooftops." "I wasn't caught. I made a tactical retreat." "Into our car?" "I'm a man of mystery. Keep you guessing." Elijah's mouth twitches, almost a smile, but his eyes are still studying me, sharp and assessing. "You're not afraid of us?" "It's not a question." I shrug. "Should I be?" "Most Omegas would be." "I'm not most Omegas. Clearly." The car turns onto a quieter street, away from the city center. The rain's lighter here, just a drizzle now, and the streetlights cast everything in hazy orange. "Where are we going?" I ask again. "Our place," Dante says from the front. His voice is tight, controlled, like he's holding himself together with pure willpower. My stomach drops. "Your place, as in the palace?" "No, our place, the one no one knows about." "Oh, the safe house. I'd forgotten about that. It's been years since I've even thought about it. A small cabin on the edge of their territory, tucked into the woods where no council members or staff or anyone else could find them. They used to take me there when things got too overwhelming, when the politics and expectations became too much. It was ours, before it wasn't." "I don't think that's a good idea," I say. "Noted," Elijah replies. "We're going anyway." I grit my teeth. The city falls away behind us, replaced by trees and darkness. The road gets narrower, rougher, and I feel every bump in my bones. No one speaks. The only sound is the rain against the windshield and the low hum of the engine. Matthias shifts beside me, his thigh pressing against mine. I go rigid. "Relax," he murmurs. "When I'm not going to bite." That's exactly what someone who's about to bite would say. He huffs a laugh, quiet, almost surprised, like he hasn't laughed in a while. The sound does something strange to my chest. "You're funny," he says. "I know, it's a gift." "And sarcastic. Also a gift." "And you smell like—" He stops. I feel him tense beside me, and I know he's caught it again. The scent, the one that's too familiar, too close to someone they've been grieving. "Like what?" I ask, even though I know I shouldn't. Matthias doesn't answer right away. When he does, his voice is softer, rougher. "Like home." The word hits me square in the chest. I don't know what to say to that. Don't know how to respond without giving myself away. So I don't. I just stare out the window and pretend I didn't hear it. The car stops. When we're here, Dante kills the engine, and the silence that follows is deafening. He climbs out first, then Elijah, and Matthias gestures for me to follow. I step out into the drizzle, and the sight of the cabin punches the air out of my lungs. It looks exactly the same, small, rustic, warm light glowing through the windows. The porch is still slightly crooked, the railing still chipped in the same spot where Dante threw Matthias into it during a sparring match that got out of hand. I used to sit on that porch with a book and a cup of tea while they argued inside about pack politics. I used to be safe here. Coming? Elijah asks, already halfway to the door. I follow. Inside it's warm. A fire's already going in the stone fireplace, crackling softly, and the space smells like wood smoke and something faintly sweet. Cinnamon, maybe. The furniture's the same. The couch where I used to curl up between them during movies. The kitchen table where we'd eat breakfast and argue about absolutely nothing. It's like stepping into a memory. And it hurts. Sit, Dante says, gesturing to the couch. I don't. I stay standing, arms crossed, because sitting feels too vulnerable. Too much like giving in. Dante sighs. He looks exhausted, hollowed out. There are shadows under his eyes that weren't there before, and his hands are shaking slightly as he runs them through his wet hair. We're not going to hurt you, he says again. So you keep saying. Then why don't you believe us? Because I don't know you. But you do, Matthias says, stepping closer. Don't you? You know this place. I can see it in your eyes. You've been here before. My pulse spikes. I haven't. You're lying. And you're delusional. Elijah moves between us, his gaze locked on mine. Who are you? I told you, Adrian. That's a name, not an answer. It's the only answer you're getting. Why do you smell like him? Dante asks suddenly, voice breaking. Why do you smell like Cassian? The room goes silent. I feel the blood drain from my face. I don't know who that is, I say. Bullshit. Matthias's voice is hard now. Angry. You smell exactly like him. Same bass notes, same undertone. It's not possible unless you're related or... He stops. I watch the realization slam into all three of them at once. Or you're him, Elijah finishes, voice barely above a whisper. My heart is pounding so hard I feel it in my throat. That's insane, I say. Your Omega is dead. You buried him. I'm not... Then prove it, Dante interrupts. He's staring at me like I'm the only thing in the world that matters. Like I'm oxygen and he's drowning. Prove you're not him. I open my mouth, close it, because I don't know how. I don't know how to prove I'm not the person they lost when I am. The silence stretches, and then Matthias steps forward, slow and deliberate, and reaches for my hood. I jerk back. Don't. Then take it off yourself. No. Why not? Because I don't owe you anything. You owe us the truth, Dante says, and his voice cracks on the last word. We buried him. We mourned him. If there's even a chance, there isn't. Then show us. My hands are shaking. I look at all three of them, at the desperation in their eyes, the grief, the hope, and I realize something. They don't want me to prove I'm not Cassian. They want me to prove I am. I can't, I whisper. Why not? Elijah asks. Because if I do, everything changes. It's already changed, Matthias says. The second you walked into our city, everything changed. I take a breath, and then I reach up, slowly, and pull my hood back. My dark hair falls into my eyes. My face, thinner than it used to be, sharper, comes into view. All three of them go completely still. Dante's eyes go wide. Matthias stumbles back a step. Elijah's breath catches. Cass? Dante breathes. I don't answer. I just stare back and watch their entire world shatter. The silence is suffocating. No one moves. No one breathes. They just stare at me like I'm a ghost made flesh. And maybe I am. Maybe that's all I'll ever be now. Dante's the first to break. You're alive. His voice cracks on the word, raw and disbelieving. He takes a step forward, then another, like he's afraid I'll disappear if he moves too fast. You're alive. I take a step back. Don't. He freezes. Cass, don't call me that. My voice comes out sharper than I mean it to, but I can't take it back now. Can't let myself soften. Not when I'm this close to falling apart. You don't get to call me that anymore. But you're here, Matthias says, and he sounds wrecked. Completely undone. How are you here? We buried you. I carried your coffin. I felt the bond break. Apparently it didn't take. The words are bitter, cold, and I watch them land like bullets. Elijah's the only one who hasn't moved. He's still standing by the fireplace, hands clenched at his sides. One's staring at me like he's trying to solve an equation that doesn't add up. You've been alive this whole time, he says slowly, for 2 months, and you didn't come back. It's not a question, it's an accusation. Why would I? I shoot back. So you could finish the job. Dante flinches like I slapped him. We didn't what? Didn't ignore me for weeks? Didn't parade Saraphina around like she was already your mate? Didn't stand there and watch while I died? We didn't know you were dying, Matthias shouts, and the sound echoes off the cabin walls. You collapsed. We thought you fainted. By the time we realized something was wrong, I was already gone, I finish. Yeah, I know, I was there. Then why didn't you tell us you were sick? Dante demands, and there are tears in his eyes now. Actual tears. I've never seen him cry. Not once in all the years I knew him. Why didn't you say something? Because I didn't know. My voice breaks and I hate it. Hate the way my hands are shaking. Hate the way the bond is screaming at me to go to them. I didn't know I was dying until I woke up dead. The room goes quiet again. Elijah finally moves. Slow. Careful. Like I'm a wild animal that might bolt. What happened to you? He asks softly. I shake my head. I don't know. 1 second I was on the balcony. The next I was waking up in a coffin 2 months later. That's not possible. Yeah, well, neither is telekinesis. But here we are. Matthias's eyes widen. That's what you did. On the roof. You pushed Dante. Gold star for observation. How? I don't know, okay? I snap. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know anything except that I died. And then I didn't, and now I'm something else. Dante takes another step closer. I don't back away this time. Let me see, he says. See what? Your mark. My blood turns to ice. The mark. The one they gave me when we bonded. The one that's supposed to fade when the bond breaks. I reach up instinctively, fingers brushing the side of my neck where their bite used to be. It's still there. Faint, barely visible. But there. No, I say. Cass. I said no. But Dante's not listening. He's close enough now that I can feel the heat radiating off him, and before I can stop him, his fingers brush my collar, tugging it down just enough to see the mark. He sucks in a breath. It's still there, he whispers. The bond. It didn't break. That's impossible, Elijah says, moving closer. If he died, the bond should have severed. Unless he didn't actually die, Matthias murmurs. Not all the way. I yank my collar back up, pulse racing. I was dead. Trust me, I remember. Then how? I don't know. My voice is rising now, frustration bleeding into panic. I don't have answers. I don't have explanations. All I know is that I woke up in the ground, and I clawed my way out, and I've been trying to figure out what the hell happened to me ever since. Dante's hand is still hovering near my shoulder, not touching, just there, like he's afraid I'll vanish if he doesn't keep me in reach. Why didn't you come to us, he asks, and his voice is so soft it hurts. Why didn't you let us help you? I look at him, really look at him, at the dark circles under his eyes, the hollow of his cheeks, the way his hands are shaking. And he looks like he's been living in hell. They all do. And part of me wants to forgive them, wants to fall into their arms and let them hold me and pretend the last 2 months never happened. But the other part, the part that remembers the cold, that part won't let me. Because I watched you move on, I say quietly. I watched you smile at her, touch her. I watched you replace me before I was even cold. We weren't replacing you, Matthias says, voice thick. We were trying to survive losing you. By finding someone else? By doing what the council demanded, Elijah cuts in. They gave us 2 weeks to choose a new Omega, or forfeit the territory. We didn't want her. We wanted you. The words hit me like a freight train. Then why did it feel like you didn't? No one answers. Because they can't. Or because the truth is complicated and messy and doesn't fit into neat explanations. Dante reaches for me again, and this time I don't pull away. His hand cups my face, thumb brushing over my cheekbone, and the touch is so gentle it makes my chest ache. "I'm sorry," he whispers. "God, Cass, I'm so sorry." And then he's pulling me forward, and I'm too tired to fight it. Too tired to keep pretending I don't want this. I let him hold me. Let Matthias step in behind me, arms wrapping around my waist. Let Elijah press his forehead to mine, breath shaky and warm. The bond sings. For the first time in 2 months, it feels like I can breathe. "I missed you," Matthias murmurs against my shoulder. "Every second, every breath. I missed you." Elijah's hand tangles in my hair. "Don't leave again." "I can't promise that," I whisper. "Then promise you'll stay tonight." I close my eyes. I should say no, should pull away and run before I get hurt again. But I don't. Instead, I nod. "Okay, just for tonight." The fire crackles, the rain patters against the windows, and for one fragile, impossible moment, I let myself believe that maybe things can be okay. Even though I know they can't. Even though I know this is going to end in blood. The warmth lasts exactly 43 seconds. Then my phone vibrates in my pocket. I feel it against my hip, sharp and insistent, and reality comes crashing back like ice water. I pull away from them, just slightly, and fish out the phone with trembling hands. 3 missed calls, all from the same unknown number, and 1 new text. Unknown number. "Enjoying your reunion?" "I hope so, because Saraphina just left the palace. Akron, and she's headed straight for you." My stomach drops. "What is it?" Elijah asks, reading my face. I don't answer. I'm already scrolling up, checking the previous messages, my pulse hammering in my ears. Unknown number. She knows you're alive. Unknown number, and she's not happy about it. Cass. Dante's hand is on my arm now, grip firm, concerned. What's wrong? I look up at him, then at Matthias and Elijah. We need to leave. Now. What? Why? Because someone's coming, and if she finds us here... The front window explodes inward. Glass sprays everywhere. I throw my arms up instinctively, and the shards freeze midair, suspended by my telekinesis. They hang there for a heartbeat, glittering in the firelight, before clattering harmlessly to the floor. Dante shoves me behind him. Matthias and Elijah flank us, to already shifting into combat stance. And then she steps through the shattered window. Saraphina Hale. She's wearing all black, hair pulled back, eyes cold and sharp as knives, and she's smiling. Well, well, she says, brushing glass off her sleeve. Looks like the rumors are true. The dead Omega walks. I stare at her. She stares back, and suddenly I know. It was you. Her smile widens. Took you long enough. Dante's growl rumbles through the cabin. What the hell are you talking about? But Seraphina's not looking at him. She's looking at me. Only me. You were supposed to stay dead, Cassian. That was the whole point. Die quietly. Let them move on. Let me take my rightful place. You killed him? Matthias's voice is deadly quiet. Killed is such an ugly word, Seraphina says, inspecting her nails. On him, I prefer removed an obstacle. Elijah moves faster than I've ever seen him move. 1 second he's beside me. The next he's got Seraphina pinned against the wall, hand around her throat. Talk. Now. She laughs. Actually laughs. You think you scare me? I've been playing this game longer than you've been alive, little alpha. Then play faster, I say, stepping forward. My hands are shaking, but my voice is steady. Tell us what you did. Seraphina's eyes flick to me. Nightshade, mixed with wolfsbane and a touch of silver dust. Slow acting, tasteless. I slipped it into your drink at the gala. You didn't even notice. The memory slams into me. The wine glass, the one Matthias poured for her while mine sat untouched. Except it hadn't been untouched. I'd taken a sip, just one, when no one was looking. Ah, you poisoned me, I breathe. I freed them, she corrects. You were weak, broken, a liability. They needed someone strong, someone who could actually hold a territory. They didn't want you, Dante snarls. They didn't have a choice. The council made sure of that. She smiles at him, sweet and venomous. You think it was coincidence they gave you 2 weeks to choose a new mate? I've been working with them for months, setting the stage. All I had to do was remove the obstacle and let nature take its course. You're insane, Matthias says. I'm ambitious. There's a difference. Elijah's grip tightens. Why? Because I deserve this, Saraphina hisses. I've spent my entire life being perfect, playing by the rules, waiting for my turn, and then he shows up. She jerks her chin at me. Some nobody Omega with no bloodline, no connections, no value. And suddenly he's living my life, wearing my crown, sleeping in my bed. It was never your bed, I say quietly. Her eyes flash. It should have been. And then she moves, faster than should be possible. Her hand whips out, and something silver glints in the firelight. A knife. She lunges for me. Elijah tries to stop her, but she's already twisting out of his grip, inhumanly fast. And I realize with a sickening jolt that she's not just an Omega. She's something else. The knife arcs toward my chest. I throw my hand up, and the blade stops. Just stops. Hovering an inch from my sternum, vibrating with the force of my telekinesis. Seraphina's eyes go wide. You're not the only one who came back different, I say, and then I push. She flies backward. On a slamming into the far wall hard enough to crack the wood, she hits the ground in a heap, gasping, but she's still smiling. There it is, she whispers. The power. I knew you'd come back with something. The ritual doesn't work otherwise. Ice floods my veins. What ritual? She laughs, blood on her teeth. You really think you just came back? That death just let you go? She pushes herself up, swaying slightly. Someone brought you back, Cassian. Someone who needed you alive. And they didn't do it out of the goodness of their heart. Who? Dante demands. Figure it out yourself. She staggers toward the broken window. But I'd hurry if I were you. Because whoever did this, they're not done. And when they come to collect... She looks at me, eyes glittering. They're going to take everything. And then she's gone. Just gone. And vanished into the darkness like she was never there. Matthias rushes to the window, but there's nothing. No trace, no scent trail. What the hell was that? He breathes. I don't answer, because my phone is vibrating again. I look down. Unknown number. Now do you believe me? My hands are shaking so hard I almost drop it. Me. Who are you? What do you want? The response is immediate. Unknown number. I want to help you. Meet me. Midnight tomorrow. The old chapel. Come alone. Me. Why should I trust you? Unknown. Number. Because I'm the one who brought you back. And if you want to stay alive, you're going to need to know why. The phone goes dark. I stare at it, pulse roaring in my ears. Cass? Dante's in front of me now, hands on my shoulders. What's happening? I look up at him, at all three of them. When and I realize something. This isn't over. Whatever happened to me, whatever brought me back, it's bigger than Saraphina, bigger than poison and politics and pack drama. Someone used me, and I need to know why. I have to go, I say. What? No. Matthias grabs my arm. You just got back. We're not letting you leave again. You don't have a choice. The hell we don't. She's right about one thing, I say, pulling free. Someone brought me back. And until I know who and why, none of us are safe. Elijah's jaw tightens. Then we're coming with you. No. Cass. I said no. My voice cracks. I need to do this alone. Why? Because I don't know if I can trust you yet. Because I'm scared if you come with me, I'll break. Because I died once already and I can't risk losing you again. But I don't say any of that. I just turn toward the door. Cassian, don't you dare. I'm already gone. The rain hits my face the second I step outside, cold and sharp. I hear them shouting behind me, hear footsteps on the porch. But I'm faster. I leap, telekinesis flaring, and I'm flying through the trees, branches whipping past, heart hammering. I don't look back. I can't, because if I do, I'll stay, and staying will get us all killed. I land hard in the mud, boots skidding on wet leaves. My lungs are screaming. My legs are shaking. But I keep moving, crashing through the underbrush like something's chasing me. Maybe something is. Behind me, I hear them. Distant shouts cutting through the rain. Dante's voice, raw and desperate. Matthias calling my name like a prayer. I don't stop. The forest is a blur of black and shadow. A branch is clawing at my clothes, rain hammering down so hard I can barely see 3 feet ahead. My telekinesis flares every time I stumble, catching me before I fall, pushing me forward. But it's draining me. I can feel it. The power pulling from somewhere deep inside, like bleeding from a wound I can't see. My vision swims. My knees buckle. Not yet. Just a little further. I burst through a wall of ferns and nearly collide with a tree. I catch myself, palms slapping wet bark, gasping for air that won't come fast enough. My phone buzzes. I yank it out, vision blurring. Unknown number. Stop running. You're making this harder than it needs to be. My heart stops. Me. How do you know where I am? Unknown number. Because I can feel you, just like you can feel them. The bond works both ways, Cassian. I stare at the screen, rain streaming down my face. What the hell does that mean? Me. Who are you? 3 dots. Then, unknown number. Turn around. Ice floods my veins. I spin. And there's someone standing 20 feet away, half hidden in shadow. Tall, hooded, completely still. Jesus Christ, I breathe, stumbling backward. Do you people not understand the concept of personal space? The figure doesn't move, doesn't speak, just stands there, watching. Okay, I say, forcing my voice to stay steady. You wanted to talk, so talk. Who are you, and why did you bring me back? Silence. Then slowly the figure reaches up and pulls back their hood. I stop breathing. It's a man, maybe mid-30s, sharp features, dark eyes, silver streaking through black hair, and he's wearing the mark of the old council, the one that was dissolved 20 years ago when the territories unified. My name is Silus Crow, he says. His voice is smooth, calm, like we're having tea instead of standing in a storm in the middle of nowhere. And I brought you back because you're the key to breaking the Ashford bloodline. The words don't make sense. I shake my head. What? The Ashford triplets, he continues, taking a step closer. They hold power they were never meant to have. Power that was stolen from the old families. From my family. I don't care about pack politics. You should. Another step. Because the ritual that brought you back, it wasn't just resurrection. It was a binding. You're tied to them now. Permanently. And when the time comes, that bond will be the blade that destroys them. My stomach turns. You're insane. I'm patient. He smiles, cold, empty. I've been planning this for 15 years, waiting for the perfect omega. One they'd love, one they'd bond with completely, one whose death would break them. You wanted me to die. I needed you to die. Death amplifies the bond, makes it unbreakable. And when you came back, the bond came back stronger, deeper. He tilts his head. Tell me, Cassian, can you feel them right now, even from here? I don't answer, because I can. I can feel Dante's panic, Matthias's rage, Elijah's desperation. It's buzzing under my skin like static, and it's getting stronger with every second. They're coming for you, Silus says. They'll always come for you, because you're not just their mate anymore. You're their anchor. And when I sever that anchor, he spreads his hands. They fall. Why? My voice cracks. Why do you care so much about destroying them? His smile vanishes. Because they killed my son. The words hang in the air. I stare at him. The Ashfords didn't. They did, he interrupts. 10 years ago. He challenged their claim to the territory, challenged their right to rule, and they executed him in front of the council. His eyes are empty now, hollow. They said it was justice. I call it murder. I'm sorry, I whisper, but that doesn't give you the right to what? To take from them what they took from me? He laughs bitter. You think I care about rights? They destroyed my family. I'm simply returning the favor. Behind me, I hear branches snapping. They're close. Silus hears it too. His expression shifts, hardens. You have a choice to make, Cassian, he says quietly. You can go back to them. Let them hold you, protect you, love you. And when the time comes, I'll use that love to tear them apart. He pauses. Or you can walk away. Break the bond yourself. Save them. I can't break the bond. You can, with enough distance, enough pain. The bond will fray, weaken. Eventually it'll snap. And then what? You'll just leave them alone? No. His smile returns. But at least you won't be the weapon I use to kill them. My hands are shaking. You're asking me to choose between saving them and being with them. I'm giving you mercy, he corrects. More than they gave my son. Cass, Dante's voice, close, maybe 100 feet. Silus takes a step back. Decide quickly, because once they reach you, the choice is made. And then he's gone, vanished into the shadows like Saraphina did. Orn leaving me alone in the rain with the worst decision of my life. I hear footsteps crashing through the underbrush, hear Matthias shouting my name. And I know, if I stay, I'm a weapon. If I go, I'm alone. But at least they'll be alive. So I run, not toward them, away. I push off the ground with everything I have, telekinesis flaring, and I'm airborne again, flying through the trees, rain lashing my face, heart breaking with every breath. Behind me, I hear Dante scream my name. I don't look back. I can't. Because if I do, I'll lose my nerve. I'll go back, and I'll destroy them. So I keep running, and I don't stop until the bond is a distant ache in my chest, until the city lights blur together in the distance, until I'm so far away, I can't feel them anymore. And then I collapse, on my knees in the mud, gasping, sobbing, alone. My phone buzzes one last time. Unknown number. Smart choice. Now stay gone. For their sake. I crush the phone in my hand, literally. Metal and glass crumpling under my telekinetic grip. The pieces fall into the mud. I stare at them, and I make myself a promise. I'll find another way. I'll stop Silus. I'll break whatever ritual he used, and I'll do it without them, even if it kills me, again. I stand. The rain keeps falling, and I start walking. Alone. 3 days. That's how long I make it before I realize I'm an idiot. I'm sitting in a dingy motel room on the edge of the city, staring at the water-stained ceiling, when it hits me. I ran to protect them, but running doesn't protect anyone. It just leaves them vulnerable. Silus doesn't need me close to hurt them. He's had 15 years to plan this. He's got resources, connections. And now that I'm gone, there's nothing stopping him from moving forward with whatever twisted revenge he's been plotting. Except me. I sit up, heart pounding. The bond is still there, faint, distant, but there. I can feel them if I concentrate. 3 points of light in the darkness, burning steady, waiting, and suddenly I know what I have to do. I can't run from this. I have to face it, all of it. I grab my jacket and I'm out the door before I can second-guess myself. The chapel is exactly where Silus said it would be. Old, crumbling, half swallowed by vines and shadow. The doors hang crooked on rusted hinges, and the stained glass windows are shattered, letting in shafts of pale morning light. I step inside and stop, because they're already here. All 3 of them. Dante, Matthias, Elijah. Standing in the center of the chapel, bruised and bloody and alive. And Silus is on his knees in front of them, silver chains wrapped around his wrists. Cass, Dante breathes, and the relief in his voice almost breaks me. What? I stare at them, at Silus. What happened? We figured it out, Elijah says. He's holding a scorched piece of parchment, symbols I don't recognize burned into the edges. The ritual, the binding, all of it. Matthias steps forward. Silus made a mistake. He thought the bond made you a weapon against us, but he got it backward. I shake my head. I don't understand. The bond doesn't make you our weakness, Dante says softly. It makes us your strength. Every time you use your power, you're pulling from us, from our bond. That's why it drains you. And that's why you can do things that shouldn't be possible. My breath catches. So when he tried to use the bond to destroy us, Elijah continues, he actually gave us the one thing that could stop him. You. I look at Silus. He's glaring at me, jaw tight. You were supposed to stay gone. Yeah, well, I'm bad at following instructions. Clearly. I walk closer, stopping just out of reach. You wanted revenge. I get that. But destroying them won't bring your son back. It'll make me feel better. No, I say quietly. It'll just make you like them. Like the people you hate. His expression flickers. Just for a second. They killed my son. And I'm sorry, truly. But your son made a choice. He challenged them knowing the risks. And they made a choice too. I glance at Dante. At the guilt written all over his face. One they've regretted every day since. Silus looks away. We were young, Dante says, voice rough. We thought we had to prove ourselves. Show strength. We didn't. He stops, swallows. We didn't know there was another way. There's always another way, I say. Silence. Then Silus laughs, bitter, broken. You're a fool if you think forgiveness fixes anything. Maybe, I agree, but it's better than vengeance. I reach down and touch the chains. They dissolve. Not because I break them, because I will them to. The telekinesis responds instantly, and the silver falls away like ash. Silus stares at his freed hands. Go, I say. Leave the territory. Don't come back. And maybe somewhere down the line, you'll find a better way to honor your son than destroying everything he fought for. He looks at me for a long moment, and then he stands and walks out, just like that. The chapel falls silent. I turn to face them. Dante, Matthias, Elijah. They're staring at me like I just moved mountains. You let him go, Matthias says. Yeah. Why? Because I'm tired of people dying for stupid reasons. Dante closes the distance between us in 3 strides. His hands cup my face, and his eyes are shining. I thought we lost you again, he whispers. You almost did. Don't do that to us, please. Then don't give me a reason to run. We won't. Elijah steps closer, hands settling on my lower back. Never again. Matthias wraps his arms around me from behind, pulling me against his chest. You're ours, Cass. For real this time. No council, no politics, no bullshit. Just us. I close my eyes, and for the first time since I woke up in that grave, I let myself believe it. Okay, I whisper. Okay. Dante leans in, forehead pressed to mine. Say it again. Okay. One more time. Dante, I swear to God. He kisses me, soft, gentle, like I'm something precious. And then Matthias turns my face toward him and kisses me harder, deeper, like he's making up for lost time. Elijah's lips brush my temple, my jaw, the mark on my neck, and the bond ignites. Not painful, not draining, whole. I feel them, all of them, their love, their relief, their promise, and I know. This is what coming home feels like. I love you, I breathe, all of you, even when you're idiots. Dante laughs, the sound ragged and beautiful. We love you too. So much, Matthias murmurs. Always, Elijah adds. We stay like that for a long time, wrapped around each other in the ruins of a chapel, sunlight streaming through broken windows, the bond humming between us like a song. And when we finally pull apart, I'm smiling. So, I say, what now? Dante grins. Now we go home. And maybe burn Saraphina's stuff, Matthias adds. I call dibs on her shoes, I say. Elijah snorts. Deal. We walk out together, into the light, into forever. And this time, I'm not afraid, because I'm not alone anymore. I'm theirs, and they're mine. Thank you for watching this story to the end. If you enjoyed it, you'll definitely love the next one. It's even crazier and more intriguing than you can imagine. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned. The next story drops soon.